Yeah, dude, that's why like attorneys will wear a blue tie and a blue suit. More trust.
Wow, dude, that's interesting. I had no idea. So what's up with this? This thing's not. This not.
No, it's working. 4 minutes we go live.
Oh, okay. It's like for some reason, like our webinar.
It's good though. It has a good timer that it like gives. Yeah, it's good. Everyone's in there. They're commenting. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So what's up, man? How have you been, man? What's new? What's happening in your life?
Not much, man. I saw that Paulina loved the book too. So all of us plus Michael will have to hop on a call here in the next week or two and talk about Third Circle Theory.
Dude, that's freaking awesome, bro.
Oh, I think they can see us.
oh, they can see us. Okay, cool. That's probably the reason why they're
commenting. That's so funny.
Can you guys send me the link so I can see like the comments and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I don't know why that timer that's weird. I don't know why. We're live. I guess we're live. So what's up, everyone?
Oh, hey, what's up, man? At least you know we're not talking about you.
Yeah. It's so funny. Because on our end, it says that they can't see us yet, but it's so funny. Like,
yeah. What's up, man? Welcome everyone that's here.
Let me send you the link, Landon.
Cool. All right, thank you.
Cool. So let me just make sure that's legit because it's like your face is there, but you're not talking. So I don't know. I just want to wait a little bit before we go live.
I'm about to start reading it soon as Paulina finishes. Oh yes, so they can hear their conversation.
Oh yeah. Okay. Circle Theory. That's so funny.
Yeah, guys, read Third Circle Theory. It's a great book.
Michael heard that comment. That's so funny. Oh man.
Is Michael and Paulina on here?
Yeah, they're on here. So Michael's like, I'm
guys.
That's so funny. All right, let's get to business, man. Let's get to business. This is so funny. What's up, everyone? I see you all excited. Who's excited? Oh my God, I'm looking at the comments here. Yeah, word. This is so funny. All right, awesome, guys. So let's get right to it. Let me introduce ourselves here. Go ahead, baby.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Paulo CQ here.
Cassandra Lee, and together we are the Power Couple. And we are excited to bring you some caffeine cash flow. We're going to bring it to you on caffeine. Landon, did you pump up the caffeine? Are you feeling excited? Are you energetic?
I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome, dude, man. I'm excited, awesome. Dude. Look, guys, this is a 1 hour webinar, right? I know we're going to go over. Like, I'm telling you it's 1 hour, but it's probably going to be like an hour and 30. We're going to do our best to just like value pack this entire webinar so that you all can get, everything that you need within this webinar, okay? Everything that you need. Without like watering it down because of time. We're going to try to make sure that you guys get all the nutrients from the potent information we're going to share with you. So, hey man, if you guys can hear us, just put yes. If you guys can see us, put yes. I know Paulina said that she has some bad internet connection. Hopefully you can fix that. That's awesome. And let's get right to it. I want to just basically, Landon, before we actually get right into it, Nate's going to be hopping on here in a minute or so. I'm just going to pre-frame everyone and introduce you and Nate, and then you're basically going to start off with the content. You got about 10 to 15 minutes. Then Nate will go in, and then Paolo will end it off with some stuff, and it is going to be an explosion of just wisdom happening in here. Cool? Does that sound good, Landon? Did he freeze? Looks like he froze. All right, cool. So where are we at? Perfect, you can hear us, great. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, okay? And just let me know once you can see my screen here, okay? Let me know once you can see my screen. Can you go live on your computer just to make sure? Because I have this I'm not seeing anything here,
Yeah.
So just go live on yours. Guys, just bear with us as we're fixing whatever's happening here. I don't know where Landon is. He just like froze there.
You're good to go.
I'm good to go. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. All right, cool. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. Just let me know once you can see my screen as Landon fixes his stuff here, okay? Boom. All right, you should be able to see that. Just leave it there, baby, so that we can see. You should be able to see that, right? Perfect. Let me.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit backed up.
All right, cool. So Landon just messaged me, right? All right, so guess what, guys? We're going to start off with some caffeine cash flow. If you are excited about learning how to get cash flow that's on caffeine, I'm talking about it is everywhere. It is bouncing around. It is just wanting you to check in. Is that Landon or is that Nate? That's Nate? Yeah, Mr. I Make Noise. What's up? What's up, Mr. I Make Noise?
Yo.
What's up, man? We can hear you. You're good. Landon got back on. That's awesome. All right, guys. So, yeah, you're here, man. Good, good. You fixed it.
Yeah.
You cloned yourself in the process of it.
I don't know how you do that, man. You got some powers. But check this out, right? I was just sharing with everyone. I'm going to pre-frame everyone and then introduce you and Nate. You're going to lead it off with the content, and then Nate will, and then Paulo is going to kick it off with a bang. All right? Cool?
Nice. It's cool with me.
Perfect. All right, so let me go back to sharing my screen. Let's do it. All right, so, man, if you're excited about getting some cash flow on caffeine, put it in the comments. Say, I am. Who's ready for this? Let me tell you something. I want to paint a picture for you. I want you to imagine that every time you want to go on an extra vacation, or every time you want to buy a special something for a special someone and you don't have the funds, right? Anytime that you want to do something that just exceeds your normal funds for the month, I want you to imagine that you have this pipeline that you can go to whenever you want and get the extra cash flow you need so that you can do the extra things that you want that day, that month in your life. How amazing would it feel that you're able to never look at the circumstances in your bank account to decipher the decisions you make, but you, in fact, can look at your bank account and govern the decisions it makes? How awesome is that? I mean, that is true power. That is true freedom. That is true freedom. So tonight, we're going to teach you how to get cash flow for your business, for your life, on demand, right away, and it is going to be epic, okay? So the hashtag for the night, guys, is hashtag caffeine cash flow. So what I want you to do is any moment that you get a breakthrough, I want you to put it on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I don't care if you Periscope this. I don't care if you put this on Meerkat. I want you to hashtag caffeine cash flow. If you find an exciting moment, right? You like something, you think something's funny, you think something's enjoyable, you get an aha moment, you apply something, you get a result while you're on here, I want you to hashtag caffeine cash flow. In fact, do it right now. I want you to do it right now. I want you to go on social media and say, I'm on this epic webinar with the power couple, Landon Stewart and Nate O'Brien, Mr. I Make Noise, learning about hashtag caffeine cash flow. Go ahead and do that. Tag us. It is going to be epic. And throughout the night, I want you to be reminded to hashtag caffeine cash flow. Cool? All right, who's this webinar not for? Okay, we got some characters in the house. Okay, and if there's any of the, if you relate to any of these characters, you know, you can leave. So we're gonna talk about who these characters are. Okay, the haters. If there's haters in the house, and this is the kind of haters we're talking about. The people who hate just about everything, including buying. Right? They not only hate other people, but they hate buying. Right? If you're a hater, you can feel free to leave. You won't hurt anyone's feelings. You know, we'll love you either way, okay? The fakepreneurs, right? These are the people who want the luxury of calling themselves entrepreneurs without actually doing the work, okay? If you're a fakepreneur, this webinar is not for you. I wish I had like a buzzer, right? Like every time I call one out, I can press a buzzer and be like, it's not for you. All right? Average addicts, all right? These are the people who cannot fathom life without being average. If you cannot fathom life without being average, then this webinar is not for you. This is for the above average people, right? The excusators. These are look, the people whose secret weapon is excuses, okay? If that's your secret weapon, then this webinar is not for you, right? The broken records. This is the people who are constantly saying, I'm broke, I'm broke, right? if you're constantly saying that, this webinar is not for you, okay? The refundaholics, in desperate need of a refund all day, all the time, no matter the hour, no matter the day, right? If that's you, this webinar is not for you, okay? The easy fiends, always looking for a break or an easy way out, this isn't for you. The leprechauns, the people who think success comes by luck, this webinar is not for you. And the fantasizers, okay? The people that, you know, dream big but never risk big. If you like to dream big and never risk big, this webinar is not for you. So I'm going to give you some time to think about it. Think about any of these characters. If you resonate with these characters, then you can hang up right now. Do not come back on because it's just going to frustrate you because it's not for you, right? Landon, Nate, you guys like these characters here, man?
Pretty sweet.
Cool, cool. All right. So who's this webinar for? This webinar is for you, okay? If you didn't resonate with any of those characters and you don't think you're like any of them, this webinar is for you, okay? So this is what I want you to do, okay? I want you to make sure you're in an environment conducive to learning. No distractions, okay? Because what's going to happen is your life is about to transform. And here's what I mean by that. You're going to sit here throughout this entire webinar. You're going to hear information from Landon, all right? You're going to hear information from Nate O'Brien. You're going to hear information from my husband and I. And when you hear this information, you're going to be taking notes. And as you're taking notes, you're going to get aha moments. And you're going to create a game plan of what you're going to do to apply this information. And when you do that, okay, what's going to happen is that results are going to begin to happen. You're going to start taking action immediately at the end of this webinar. You're going to take so much massive action that the results that you're looking to create in your life, they're going to start flooding into your life because of this webinar. That's how the transformation is going to happen. But it's only going to happen if you're in a no distraction zone. Hashtag caffeine cashflow, right? If you're in a no distraction zone, you're going to be able to experience the transformation that I just described. If you're excited about experiencing this, put it in the comments below. Express your excitement. We love when people get excited. If you need some caffeine to stay up, go put some caffeine. I know we got some people here from Amsterdam, and it's going to be getting late over there, so put some caffeine in your system so you don't fall asleep, guys. All right, cool. So here's what to expect, all right? 3 things are going to happen tonight. Number 1, you're going to figure out what you need to get people into your funnel using Facebook. This is going to be coming from the man with the plan, Landon Stewart. He's going to be talking about the components needed in order to get people to your funnel using Facebook. So Landon's going to take that, right? The second thing that you're going to be learning are the components needed in a funnel to create high conversions, all right? High conversions. That's going to be taken over by Mr. I Make Noise, Nate O'Brien. You know, this guy, which I'm gonna rave about him later, but he's going to be hitting up those components, so you want to make sure you stick around for that. And then the third thing is taking low front-end sales into high back-end sales. That's the cash flow we're talking about. And that's going to be taken over by my husband, Mr. Paolo CQ. Paolo, you already know. Let's go, right? So these are the 3 things. Write these expectations down, because what I want you to do is once you learn about it, I want you to check it off. I want you to know that you understood this concept. I want you to make sure that you get what you expect, all right? That is huge. Hashtag caffeine cashflow all day long, all night long. It's going to be an awesome night, guys, all right? But all of this is irrelevant if you don't have the mindset, okay? If you don't have the mindset to receive, it is irrelevant, the expectation that we have set out for you. The information that we're going to be teaching you is irrelevant if you do not have the right kind of mindset. So what do I mean by this, guys? Mindset is everything, okay? If you want to write anything down right now, it would be this, okay? Belief equals what? Your actions, right? Your belief equal your, well, attitude. Let's go to attitude. Your belief equals your attitude. So what you believe is going to determine an attitude that you have about something, okay? That attitude then reflects the actions that you take. So then from the actions that you take, it reflects the results that you create. And then the results that you create reflect your manifested lifestyle. So if you look at your life and everything around you, every single thing, from the people you're hanging out with, right? The room that you're currently in, the town you're in, the state you're in, the car you drive, the car you don't drive, the money you make, the money you don't make, everything you see around you was put there because you put it there. Every decision you made led up to having that kind of lifestyle. It all goes back to the belief, okay? If you want to change your manifested lifestyle, you need to go back and change the belief. So if you believe that tonight's webinar is going to be life-changing, if you believe that the information is going to transform your business and your life, guess what attitude you're going to have? The attitude you're going to have is going to be of high expectation. It is going to be of power, right? It is going to be of caffeine cash flow, right? Excitement, thrill. It's going to be of just application. And then what's going to happen? The actions that you take are going to have a positive attitude towards that action. You're going to go out there, you're going to kill it, and then the results you're going to see are all going to be correlated to that belief, right? That it will bring you transformation. And then what will happen to your manifested lifestyle? It'll be exactly what you've always envisioned. That's the power in having the right kind of mindset, okay? You got to know this, man. Know that tonight you have to be so hungry to receive this information so you can apply it towards your dream, man. And I want you to know something. You know, today I was reading a book, and in the book, I learned something so powerful, and I heard this before, but somehow it hit me 10 times harder, right? And it was saying about how you have to be obsessed with your dream, man. You have to be obsessed with your dream, obsessed with it. And it's so powerful because when you're obsessed, right? When you're obsessed, you will push through. When you aren't obsessed, any little obstacle, any little challenge, any little something, you'll give up. And so I want to encourage you to have the mindset to be obsessed about your dream tonight. Every day, just be obsessed. This moment right here is going to feed. It's going to feed your dream. It's going to feed it. If you decide to chew on the information and digest it, guys, there's power tonight, and I want you to be ready to receive it. If you're ready to receive it, if you have the right kind of mindset, you're ready to take on the world, you're already obsessed with your dream, put it in the comments below. Say, I'm ready. I've been born ready. I'm obsessed with my dream. Let me know what you're thinking. I want to hear it. I want to feel it, guys. Because if that's the case, we're going to get started right now in this awesome value-packed webinar. And here's our two special guests, right? If you've never been to any of our webinars, we usually do have guests. But tonight we have Mr. Landon Stewart and Mr. I Make Noise, Nate O'Brien. Lego, come on now. So Landon, right? Landon is awesome. Let me tell you a quick story about these guys so you know who you're listening to, right? Because I don't want you to come here like, who are these guys, right? But Landon, we met Landon in New Orleans at this mansion, and we were chilling there. And this guy, I guess had a significant breakthrough in his business because he was speaking on stage that time. And I remember like meeting him, like, who is this guy? I don't even know who he is. Like, you know, and then he's speaking on stage. I'm like, this guy's speaking on stage? This guy? This guy?
Thanks.
This guy speaking on stage? I'm like, yo, if he did it, I could do it, right? And
Nice.
Landon is awesome, but this guy is so intelligent, bro. Like the way his mind works, it blows me away. Every time we sit down with this guy and just conversate and just, you know, have good conversation, I realize something, man. I realize that this guy lives every day with purpose. Every single day. He doesn't do anything without a purpose. Everything he does has an intention. Everything he does has a purpose behind it. And you know what the crazy part is? Is that he usually gets that intention. He usually gets it. He can actually create an intention for something, and he will actually manifest it. It's not like he just has an intention for everything and doesn't see it come to fruition, but he does. Landon is a beast. He's a Facebook marketing master. He's created 6 figures online just using Facebook marketing. So he's going to be teaching about that. He's just awesome, right? And then we got Nate O'Brien, Mr. I Make Noise, Lego. Come on, man. Every time we do that, I mean, Nate, I have to confess, man, we do this all the time. Like
We'd be running around the house, man.
yeah, it's so funny because it's like Fowler would yell out Lego, and I naturally have to go, come on now.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude. Anyway, this guy is a beast. Okay, we met Nate O'Brien in Miami, right? Well, we actually met you in Fort Lauderdale, but at a mansion, and we're sitting down. And
we always meet these guys in mansions.
In mansions, this is what happens. Mansions, like you want to meet successful people, hang out in the mansion, man. It'll happen. But anyway, so we're there, we're chilling, and Nate, man, it was so funny. Me and Fowler are broke as hell, right? We were broke. We used to be one of those, negative characters over there. And we had no cell phones. Like, we were literally just beginning our journey on the internet. And I remember Nate sitting there, and Nate was, like, at a whole different part of his life than he is today. And I just remember sitting here like, again, who is this guy? Like, I've never heard of him. And he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, right, when it comes to the internet. And out of nowhere, I mean, we saw him, chilling in this mansion, just some guy, right? I didn't know him. It was just some guy. And suddenly he explodes on the internet, right? This year, he literally has like $500,000 left to be $1 million this year, to be at $1 million this year.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy.
That's amazing.
I mean, his hunger for God, his hunger for helping people and just changing lives is so evident. It's epic. I can't believe the person I met in Miami, in January of 2013 or 14, 2014, to the man you are today. It is ridiculous. This guy does everything by creating the best funnels out there. I mean, his funnels are huge. I mean, he could just test a funnel and accidentally make 5 figures. Like, like that's how good he is. So that's Mr. I Make Noise. He's going to come out in a few. So we're going to start it off with Landon Stewart, buddy. Are you here? You're excited? You can go ahead and
Yo. Yeah, let me pull up my screen here, and just let me know if you guys can see my screen here in a second. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Yeah, so like they said, we're going to be talking, or I'm going to be talking to you guys about Facebook ads, which is like the traffic piece of your funnel. And it's really, really important. Like I coach and mentor and consult with a lot of internet marketers, and you ask them like what they're doing on a daily basis, and they're like, well, I watched some videos, and I attend some webinars, and I read some books, and I do some stuff. But like none of their attention is focused on traffic. And the truth is, inside of your business, you're not going to make any money at all until you have traffic and leads, right? So the first piece here is traffic. Then Nate's going to come on and talk a little bit about leads and stuff like that. So the first piece here is traffic. And I'm going to be talking to you really, really fast tonight because Cassandra said that I have 15 minutes. And so I was like, can I get 20 minutes? She's like, no, 15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. But I am going to be talking really fast, so please take some notes, write all of this information down. I have used this info to do 6 figures plus inside of network marketing. I have now sold my own courses using Facebook ads that are now altogether, my courses are over 70K in revenue. And all of that revenue has been created, 100% of it, from Facebook ads. And so I'm going to walk you through. the ideology that I use to create those kinds of results, so that you can go out and duplicate it. And then what I'm going to do. So first, I'm going to walk you through what I do before I write any ad, because no one teaches this. I actually taught this strategy at an event that cost $3,500 per person. I taught this strategy, and no one talks about this. I'm going to teach that to you, and then I'm actually going to take you and show you one of my top ads ever. This ad over the last couple of months has made me about 30K in profit, right? In profit, not in revenue, but profit. And I'm going to show you that ad and walk you through the psychology of it. And really, what I want you to come away with this from is really how easy generating traffic, generating leads, and getting sales for your business really is. So let's dive right into it. So here's what I have written down. Here's what I have written down. If you want to write this down too, here's what I said. I said, you will discover the 4 simple yet powerful questions that I ask myself before I run any of my ads to all but guarantee they each act like oil wells, making me money day after day after day. And then my promise is that once you get your eyes on these 4 secret questions, you'll never look at marketing the same ever again. So whenever you go about creating a Facebook ad or really doing any kind of advertising, this is true for Bing. This is true for YouTube ads. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. You're always talking to one person. And in internet land, we call this an avatar, right? So you basically write down this avatar, which is this one specific person. And the idea behind avatar is like this perfect specimen. And so whenever we talk about an avatar online, what we're talking about is who is your perfect, most ideal customer. And so how do you figure out who that is? Well, you look at your offer, right? So you have a network marketing business that you're selling. You might be selling weight loss products. Whatever you're selling, you have an offer. And for that offer, there are people who are likely to buy that product and then people who aren't likely to buy it. For example, if you're selling a network marketing business, and you're only placing ads in front of people who have jobs they love, get to see their family as much as they want, travels the world, and has a bunch of fun already, are they likely to join you in your network marketing business? They probably aren't, right? And so whenever we look at an avatar, we're asking ourselves, who's likely to buy? Who's likely to look at this offer and say, you know what? This is something I want to buy. And so the first thing I want you to write down is write down avatar. And the second this webinar ends, I want you to sit there and go into such like a deep thought and deep trance and almost like a meditative state to where you can literally inside of your mind picture your avatar and who that is. Picture, what problems they have and things like that. And so once I get this avatar, once I'm clear on who's most likely to buy, and low-hanging fruit for this, here's some low-hanging fruit, some easy people to target and things like that. Like whenever you go to do Facebook ads, here's some easy people to target. Easy people to target are your competitors, right? So like, for example, if you're in a network marketing company, an easy target market for you would be people who like other network marketing companies. Now, why is that the case? Well, it's the case because when someone buys a product one time, right? Like if a girl goes out and buys a really expensive, or I don't like the word expensive, we'll say pricey purse. And I say pricey instead of expensive because expensive, and this is just kind of a quick tangent. So expensive is relative from person to person because someone who makes $1 million a year wouldn't look at a $200 purse and call it expensive, right? But pricey is relative from product to product. It might not be expensive, but it might be pricey for a purse. So this doesn't say anything about you. It's talking about the item. And so I would just remove expensive from your vocabulary. But the girl goes out and buys a pricey purse. She's highly likely to buy another one because it's already broken through the major objections. Like if you look at objections that people might have about joining a network marketing business or an internet marketing kind of make money from home kind of business, they might think, well, it looks like a pyramid scheme, or they might think, oh, those are just scams, or they might have these thoughts, right? And these thoughts are dumb, and they're just being morons. Anyone who has thoughts like that, they're being morons, but some normal people have these thoughts. Well, if you target people who are already exposed to network marketing, who are already in network marketing right now, those questions, right? Those questions no longer exist. Same with pricey purses, right? If you're selling a pricey purse, right, it's very easy to sell pricey purses. Same with weight loss, right? If you want to sell weight loss product, the easiest people to sell weight loss product to are people who have tried like 20 diets in their life. You know what I mean? People who've done P90X, people who've bought all the Beachbody stuff, done the Visalis, all the different businesses. Those are your ideal clients. Those are who's most likely to buy. And that's kind of your low-hanging fruit. You can then expand your audience and expand your reach, which requires a little bit more skill. But that's not what we're going to be talking about tonight. What we're going to be talking about right now are these questions. So once you're clear on who this avatar is. So if you're selling weight loss product, it would obviously be people who would like to lose weight, would be like your main target. You know what I mean? If your offer is a network marketing business, it would be people who want to make money from home, people who are involved in network marketing businesses right now, etc. So once you get clear on this person, right? And I do this before I do any webinar, before I write any piece of sales copy, before I do anything. Without the avatar, a lot of people try to talk to everybody. They're like, well, my business helps people make money. Everyone wants to make more money, so my business is for everyone. And that, it couldn't be more wrong, right? If you target everyone with your advertising, you'll make no money. $0 if you target everyone. If you target a very specific person, you can make a lot, as evidenced by the results that I've gotten. You know, my Facebook product doing 70K over the last 2.5, 3 months, which is pretty exciting. So here are the 4 questions. Please write these down. Again, I taught this at an event, and it was $3,500. Every single person paid to be there. So this is important, and I'd like you to write these questions down. So here are the 4 questions that I ask myself. Question number 1 is, what are the problems that my avatar has? And what I'll do, and I'll explain what I mean by this here in a second, but I'll actually write down 5 to 7 problems that they face. 5 to 7. Write that down. So what are the problems that my avatar has? So again, you get clear on this avatar, and it could be network marketers is your avatar. That's who you want to target. Imagine this is a network marketing man, right? Or woman, network marketers. Then you'd ask yourself, what are the problems that this avatar faces? What are the problems? And I always look at it in a few different lenses. I look at it through 2 lenses. I look at it through the lens of, number 1, what are the problems that they face on like a daily basis, right? So these would be like the problems of they don't have enough time to spend time with their family. They don't have enough money. They're constantly worried about being able to pay their bills at the end of the month. These are like their daily problems. And why is this important? Why is it important to get clear on the problems that your product or business solves? Because really, whenever you're selling a business or you're selling anything, at the end of the day, all you're really doing is solving someone's problems, right? Someone has a problem, and they feel that their money is put to better use by giving it to you and relieving themselves of that problem, right? And so that's really all we're doing, is just solving problems. And so by getting clear on what these problems are, you can use that in your message. And I'll explain how you can do that and all of that here in a sec. But the first problems, again, are the day-to-day problems. So this would be like, if you look at weight loss, this would be like wanting to, look better in the bikini. You know what I mean? Or I guess that wouldn't be a problem. That would be like a want. I don't write any copy for this kind of offer, but you could, if you're in a weight loss offer, I'm sure you know what problems you solve. So the day-to-day problems. And the second problems that I talk about are the problems that they'll experience with competitors. So this would be like, what are the other problems with other network marketing businesses that makes like my thing, or that makes my weight loss offer better? And so it's like, you've tried weight loss offer after weight loss offer and nothing has worked for you. Well, here's why. Here's the problem. Here's the problem that you faced. Well, you've done network marketing business after business. Well, here's the problem. The problem is you didn't have anything high ticket to sell. So you're not, even if you get someone to join, you're not going to make any money. And so again, I ask myself, what are the problems my avatar has? I'll write down 5 to 7 total. Problems number 1 is like their day-to-day problems. Problem number 2 is the problems that my specific deal solves in relation to the marketplace. I hope that makes sense. That's the first question that I ask. Question number 2 is, what are the painful emotions my avatar feels? And this is really, really, really incredibly important. Whenever people make buying decisions, a lot of people don't understand how those decisions are made. Buying decisions are almost exclusively made based on emotion. Buying decisions are made to accomplish one of 2 things, which is either to avoid pain or to acquire pleasure, which are emotions. So this is really why people make buying decisions, and someone might say, no, I make my decisions based on logic. But the truth is, decisions are made based on emotion, and then they're actually then backed up with logic. An example of this would be the 40-year-old guy going through, you know, his midlife thing where he's like wanting to feel cool. And so he goes and buys the $20,000 Harley Davidson, you know, motorcycle. And why does he really buy the motorcycle? Well, he buys it because he wants to feel cool. He wants to feel cool. He wants to feel younger. He wants to feel hip. He wants to have, you know, he wants to have the roar of the engine at his fingertips. He wants to feel that power. He wants to feel in control of his life again. These are the real reasons he buys that. Then he gets home, right, and he pulls his $20K motorcycle into the driveway, and his wife is like, what the heck? Why did you just go spend $20K on a motorcycle? We don't need a motorcycle. And he starts backing it up with logic. Well, you know what, honey, it's going to save us some money on gas money. You know, it's going to save us some money. Well, you know what, we can now fill up, you know, more of the garage, and we can use the garage more as a storage place now that we have the motorcycle instead of the car. You know, it's going to be great. You know, so it's all of these logical, but he didn't make the decision based on that. He didn't make the decision to save money on gas in comparison to a car. He makes it on the emotion. And so whenever you tap into that, whenever you tap into, you know, some people might call this buying trigger, right? Like whenever people buy things, it actually releases dopamine, which is why people get addicted, right? That's why people get addicted to going out and shopping, because dopamine is a chemical that your body releases, and your body releases it when you buy stuff. And so if you can help people tap into that dopamine during the buying process, selling stuff is really, really, really easy to do and pretty effortless. And so it's like this buyer's rush. That's why people get this buyer's rush when you buy things. It's because of dopamine. And so we want to tap into these emotions when we sell. So I'll ask myself, what are the painful emotions my avatar feels? And again, I'll always look at everything through two lenses. Lens number one is, what are the emotions he feels on like a daily basis? So just in like real life, like what does he feel? Well, he might feel uncertainty because he doesn't have enough, you know, he's worried about just buying dinner, putting food on the table, or he's worried about paying the bills at the end of the month, and that uncertainty, right? That might be a day-to-day emotion. And then I'll always ask myself, what are the emotions they feel who's involved in like a network marketing business, like that other people are feeling that my business can solve? It might be rejection, right? Like people involved in network marketing businesses feel loads and loads of rejection. Why? Well, because they go to their friends and family, they're super excited about their business, right? They go to their friends and family, and then their friends and family like smack them and tell them to stop being a moron, and then they feel rejected and sad. And that's a cold, hard reality about network marketing some of the time, right? So they might feel that emotion. And again, whenever you go to do your Facebook ads, you can then inject this emotion, right? Like one kind of ad, and the example I'm going to show you here in a second isn't a story ad. It's a basic ad, but it's worked really well. But I'll also do story ads. And whenever I go to write this ad, which a story ad is basically, it's a longer ad where I tell my story, and I like doing these kinds of ads. Maybe later on I'll show you guys an example of it. But I like doing these longer ads, and I inject this sort of emotion into it. And I start telling my audience about times that I felt rejected. Well, why do I do that? Why would I tell my audience about a time I felt rejected? This is really important. This is really important. So please write this down. So if you want someone to buy from you, and I'm getting into a ton of stuff, and they could be covering this, and I'm probably running over time, so I'm going to talk faster here. But if you want someone to buy from you, you have to have what's called rapport. And I'll explain what that means here in a sec. But basically, for someone to pull out their credit card and make a split-second buying decision from you, they have to know, like, and trust you. Like, they have to like you. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a certain level of rapport, which basically just means they like you, for it to get someone to buy something from you. So that being said, here's kind of a secret into human psychology. Here's a secret. So people like people who are like us. I would write that down. People like people who are like us. So let me give you an example of what this would be like. This would be like, I don't know if you've ever gone to like a party where you don't know anybody. So imagine this is a room and this is a party and you don't know anybody else at the party. It's just like you. Imagine this scenario for a second. You're at this party and so you gravitate kind of towards a corner because you like don't know anybody. So you're still smiling because you're a good person, but you don't know anybody there. And so it's just sort of like awkward. Maybe one friend dragged you to the party, but then they're out, you know, hanging with everybody else here in the middle, and you're just kind of chilling over there. When someone else who also doesn't know anyone else at this party starts gravitating over towards you, right? And so you're like standing there, you don't know whether to talk, it's sort of awkward, you know what I mean? And then what happens is you start making small talk. So you're kind of like, you know, you've probably been in a situation like this. You're like, you know, so, you know, how's the weather? And they're like, well, the weather's pretty good. You know, I love the sun. They're like, you know, what do you do for a living? And it's just like this awkward conversation. And then all of a sudden, this person right here is like, yeah, I can't believe that the Chicago Bears finally won a football game last week. And then this person's like, wait a second, you're a Chicago Bears fan? I'm a Chicago Bears fan. And it's like all of a sudden there's this like light bulb, and this is supposed to be a light bulb. Like this light bulb goes off and all of a sudden you like this person. There is immediate instant rapport. Well, why does that happen? It's because we like people who are like us. And so whenever I go into my ads and my copy, I'll talk about situations and emotions that I felt that I know my avatar has also felt. Pretty powerful whenever you think about it. You know what I mean? That's pretty powerful. What are some other emotions? Painful emotions: frustration, rejection, disappointment, depression. I don't use depression too much because I don't want people, like every word that you use in your marketing. And this is important. I'm getting into some really deep stuff. I hope if you guys are getting some value, give me some yeses in the comments if you're getting some major value out of this, because this is some deep stuff. But whenever you speak a word, right, like every word in your writing, in your ads, in your sales copy, every word creates a reaction inside of somebody. Every single word, every word creates some sort of reaction, and it's a little bit different for everybody. Some people see pictures. So I speak a word, you create an image inside of your head. Some people are more audible, some people are more kinesthetic, which basically means I say a word and then you feel something. People process information differently, but everybody internalizes and creates a reaction. And so whenever I'm writing copy, I kind of want to agitate the pain a little bit. So I'll talk about times that I was frustrated and kind of get them into this state of like wanting an answer. But I don't usually talk about depression. Even if you felt that, anything, I don't usually go down that road because I don't want people going to like a vicious cycle inside of my writing. You know what I mean? But so I wanted to more so be agitating emotions instead of like deeply sad, downer emotions. I hope that makes sense. And so that's the second question. Let's move on to question 3, which is, what does my avatar want? Like what does my avatar really, really, really want? And this is important, right? Because you can't sell stuff and you can't get people to click on ads if you don't even know what they want. Like, what are they even looking for, right? Like, you look at network marketing. What does someone who joins a network marketing business want? Well, I'll tell you what they want. They want to be able to go chill on a beach, right? Imagine this is a beach. Here's some oceans. Here's a beach chair, and they're here, right? And they want to be laying on this beach when all of a sudden they hear this little ding on their cell phone. They're like, that's strange. I said I didn't want any calls this week. But they open it up, and this ding is an email that says, congratulations, you just earned a $3,000 commission. And then they go back and take a little nap because they just made a bunch of money. You know what I mean? Like, this is why people get started in a business, but that's just one fantasy that people have. See, whenever you sell stuff, what you're actually doing is you're actually selling the future. You don't sell the present or the past, you sell the future. Whenever you're selling stuff, what you're really doing, like, let me give a good example of this. What would be a good example? And I can't use an example that I'd love to use because based on the birthday present that I just bought for my lovely girlfriend Melissa, her birthday is next week, and I can't use it because she might watch this webinar later. So I can't use that example. But like let's think of an example. So whenever you go out and buy something, you go get the gym membership. You don't get the gym membership so that you can say you have a gym membership. You know what I mean? You get the gym membership so that you can get like the great looking abs And then even deeper than that, you want these great looking abs because of the benefits that these great looking abs are going to provide to you, like looking good on the beach, being able, you know, to attract women or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so whenever you're selling stuff, you're selling this future, you know what I mean? And so you gotta know, what up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Everyone's getting tons of value here in the comments. I don't know if you can see the comments, but everyone's getting
the comments. Yeah.
Yeah. They're getting tons of value, but we have to keep kind of moving here because of time. So we can let I Make Noise share his part too. You want to share just that last one, and then or is that the last question already?
Yeah. This is the last question is, so yeah, and then I'll just show the ab real quick. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I have been talking way too long. So the fourth question is, you ask yourself, what does my avatar want? And then when my avatar gets what he or she wants, what emotions are they going to feel? So again, this would be the happy emotions. And then let me just show you the ad real quick, and I'll show you this ad. And again, this ad has done around 30,000 in profit if you want to write it down. So a couple of main pieces here. Number one is on Facebook. Lifestyle pics work amazingly well, especially for those of you that are involved in network marketing. Bright pictures work amazingly well. I have my headline on the actual ad here, and then I have a very clear and concise ad. It says, for network marketers, so I'm calling out my audience, right, my avatar. Here's how I've generated 8,000 leads, enrolled 350 people into my business, which is the classic how-to headline. How-to headlines are awesome. And then I give a very clear call to action. I say, click the pic below to register for my free training now. So clear call to action. So again, the main steps are a clear how-to headline with a nice picture and then a very clear call to action, and you can have amazing Facebook ads. I appreciate you guys. Hope you got value. Sorry for taking up so much time. Let's move on to Nate here. I know he's going to crush it.
Man, you're awesome, Landon. I appreciate you, man. I know that everyone's getting tons of value out of that, you know. Guys, man, I hope you took notes. Don't take for granted everything that was just said, because I'm telling you, what he just described was creating like an attractive character to the audience and how to use your verbiage in a way that like attracts people to wanting to buy from you. So what Nate's going to do now, he's going to talk about the components in a funnel process that help convert at high rates, okay? So Mr. I Make Noise, Nate O'Brien, Lego, come on now.
Awesome. Good stuff, Landon.
Thank you, brother.
Really cool stuff. Unfortunately, guys, I do not have like no PowerPoint or nothing of that sort to show you guys. I truly apologize. I believe mine's was, Cassandra, can you give it to me again? The components.
Yeah, just the components of a funnel that help convert at a high rate.
Perfect, got you. All right, cool. So mine's is the components that helps a funnel convert at a high rate. All right, so here's the thing about funnels and about systems, whatever you're trying to do with online marketing, right? Whatever you're trying to create, you have to make sure you know what you're doing. So there's a strict formula that I go by, which is lead magnet, tripwire, to core product, to profit maximizer, and to return path, right? It's those 5 things that I stay in front of. Again, that's going to be my lead magnet, my tripwire, my core product, my profit maximizer, and my return path, right? I'm going to use these 5 things to create the most income that I can. That's very lucrative at the same time. So where most people fail short at, right, and in internet marketing, period, right, in anything that they feel may be attractive, and they're trying to get conversions, right? We had this talk in this discussion at the Ryan Dice event. We was talking to people, and we were talking about how some marketers, they run for clicks. Right? They go crazy. They go ham. They look at their lead pages. They're like, hey, I got 200 opt-ins, or hey, I got 300, 400 opt-ins. Oh my God, and 0 sales, right? But I got 400 opt-ins and 0 sales. Like, congratulations, you just got 400 opt-ins with nothing to show for it, right? And so we talked about how marketers have took the conceptual part of marketing and creating funnels and has polluted everything that it was designed to do, right? And so you see a lot of people who create these lead magnets, and it's like a old guy holding a beer, or it's like a, hey, ex-con man makes $3,000 in 1 hour, right? Or like ex-policeman now make $12,000 in 6 hours. Like, we think that these things are attractive, but to the entrepreneur, it's not, right? Everybody, the thing is, when you get to a position in business or in the road of entrepreneurship, there's a certain things that you have to do and certain things you don't have to do, right? And so main things that we think is common, we attract the wrong kind, right? So if my lead magnet says, hey, X drug dealer, like someone did this with me. There was like X gangbanger, Nate O'Brien reveals how he did $100,000 in a month. And I was like, no, we're going to attract the wrong people. We're not going to get the right people on this webinar. And so what I'm saying is perception is everything. There's certain words that causes curiosity in people, right? But it allows certain triggers to take place inside of people also. So you have to think, if I'm trying to get someone to spend $5,000 with me, or $10,000 or $20,000, X gangbanger is not going to attract that person, right? X person from the street that used to shoot people, that's not going to attract that person, right? Anybody who's looking to spend high ticket understands that their mindset is on investment. Now, when you're trying to provide to someone, you're trying to reel in people who's willing to invest, you don't need to take and get them with something that's just dramatic. So some marketers, they market with dramatic. Some marketers market with investment knowledge. And so what people like to see is how 12% of these skill sets added 12% more customer value, or something that says these 3 things allowed me to increase my rate of 40 to 45 customers every month. Right? That sounds more lucrative. That sounds more professional, right? That sounds more business sounded, opposed to X truck driver who used to run 3 people over, makes $3,000 in this company this month. Like we got to realize that dramatic scene and theatrics of marketing doesn't cause our money to go bigger, right? It just causes people to say, well, what did this ex-con man do? Oh, wow, they're selling this, or oh, wow, that. But when we use words that make sense to the entrepreneur, we allow ourselves, right, to go into something and to gain focus and knowledge. So the main purpose of a funnel is the psychology of it, is to understand what you want the customer to do in the front end and what you do in the back end. It's like when you go into your house. Normally when you open my door, my wife always did this. She used to say, babe, I don't want the couch here because I don't want the couch to be the first thing they see, right? Or babe, I don't want the TV to be the first thing that they see here, right? Babe, I want them to see the kitchen first. This was like our debate in everywhere we lived. She always was worried about what someone's going to see when they first came to the door. It's the same thing with your funnel, right? However you attract your customer is by what you want them to see first. You literally have 15 seconds to impress your customer. Whether it's, hey, check me out, I used to sell drugs on the street, I'm now making $20,000, or hey, listen, this same report allowed me to increase my revenue by 10%, but also allowed me to help 90 people in the last 30 days, right? You got to gain attention in the front end. You got to learn how to gain eyeballs and urine and get people to say, hey, listen, I want to know more about what these people are doing. So where most people mess up when it comes to conversion is they're not thinking like the customer. Right? They're not thinking like the person that's on the other side. What they are is they're thinking like somebody who just wants, hey, I think that'll be a cool thing. So the number one step to getting more conversions in funnel systems is knowing what would you do as a customer? What would make you opt in, right? What would make you say, okay, I want to check this out. Okay, what is this report about? What intrigues you most? Right? Not what just sounds cool. So a lot of times I tell people, when you're building a funnel and you're trying to increase conversion rates, what will your customer do? A lot of times, man, I've seen people build funnels and we sit down and we talk. I'll be like, well, you know, they'll be like, what was the one? I just did one recently with somebody. One of my students, he was building a funnel for somebody, and the lead magnet was 10% off coupon code, opt in here, yada, 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 right? For oil field company, something like that, 10% coupon. And I was like, why would you put a coupon code in the front of the funnel? He was like, well, we want them to opt in for the discount. I said, but listen, the word coupon initiates discount. Discount initiates the sale, and the value just got depreciated, right? You just lost value of what you offered because you're offering a coupon on the front of the sale. It'll be different if I'm offering a flash sale 3 months in, but if I'm offering a flash sale at the beginning, I'm now depreciating what I'm trying to offer to that person. So what most people fail at is when they're trying to create that funnel is they're either they're trying to offer discounts, which is not as attractive as just the word free, right? So whenever you want to increase conversions, your best bet is to do everything for free. That's your best bet. When you don't have no credibility, when you don't have no type of following, your best way to get someone to look at you is to do free, right? Free report, free cheat sheet, free training, free webinar, whatever you want to do, whether it's the invisible selling formula, whatever you want to do, you want to make sure that your front end is free. Lead magnets are imperative to every part of your funnel. You cannot get someone to spend thousands if you can't impress them for free. You have to be able to impress people for free, no matter what you want to do, right? I have this term that I always say. I say, if your business is not like a boomerang, it's never going to be booming, right? And what I mean by that is I can give away free training and I can throw my boomerang out there, but I know my boomerang's going to come back because they're going to wonder, how did they get to the next step, right? I can teach people how to make thousands for free. And that's my whole analogy is I'm going to teach you how to make money for free. You're going to go make $1,000, but like a boomerang, you're going to come right back and you're going to say, Nate, how can I make 6 figures now, right? Or Nate, how can I have my first 100K month? Because I trust my own value. So one of the key things to conversions is not being scared to give too much. And I know a lot of people have this term and inside their mind is like, I don't want to give too much until they pay. I don't want to mess around with tire kickers. Well, here's the thing. If you don't want to market yourself and if you don't trust your value enough, then you don't need to create a funnel, right? You don't need to build nothing if you don't believe in your own value. You have to believe that your value is that good that someone's going to come back like, hey, Landon, hey, Paulo, yo, man, this training was serious, but how the heck do I implement this? Yo, I know it's going to make me money, but how do I do that, right? That's when your sale comes. Your sale comes when your training does the talking for you. Allow your value to impress those so those can be impressed by your numbers. Most people fail at that. They don't want to give nothing for free. They don't want to waste their time. They don't want to do nothing until they make money. And most people that's like that is only making like $5,000, $4,000 a month. But those that are making $100,000 and $50,000, they're more concerned about customer value, right? Those people are more concerned about helping others and seeing others jump up and grow more. So if you're looking to increase conversions, and I don't want to go over my time, so if you're looking to increase conversions, I would tell you now, you need to make sure your lead magnet is something that can create you credibility, for one, but for two, it can blow the minds of your clients and your customers. And three, it will re-attract them to your next offer. If you are not willing to do one of the three, then your conversions are going to be low, and unless you're trying to do like some type of CPA offer or you're trying to do some affiliate marketing, but it depends on where you're trying to go inside of your business. So shouts out to everybody that's on here. This is a killer webinar. This should have been charged $1,000 to be on here, but I'm gonna leave that alone and pass it back to Cassandra.
You're awesome, man. I appreciate you guys. If you got tons of value from Landon and Nate O'Brien, I need you to put it in the comments below. I'm going to recap a little bit about what Nate said here. You know, he mentioned that a funnel, right, for it to be successful at converting at high rates is you need to focus on a few things, right? You have your lead magnet, you have the tripwire, right, which is like a trial. Then you have your core product, right, which is the main thing that you're selling, a profit maximizer, which charges more money, and then your return path, okay, which basically what that does is it takes the people who haven't yet bought, right, and you're redirecting them to in a different way to buy. You're basically getting at them in a different angle, okay? If it didn't work this way, let me talk to them this way, okay? Now this is huge because, like he said, man, when you have that lead magnet and you have this whole flow of a funnel, you're basically taking them by the hand and you're walking them through what you want them to see. And that's huge. Man, you can literally sell anything by having this type of process. So write it down. I hope you all got value out of that. You know, these two guys are just huge. So far, everyone's saying explosive nugget bombs. Booyah, right? So I'm excited. Let's do this, right? So, hey, go ahead. Hey, man, if you have to head out, Nate, we love you. We appreciate you. You're awesome. You're the bomb. Thank you so much for being here. I can't tell you enough, man.
Thanks
we love
a lot,
you, bro.
Appreciate
we love you. So check this out, right? Check this out, guys. I don't know if Landon, do you have to go too or no?
I'm free to stay on for a little bit.
You're the bomb, bro. You're the bomb, man. So check this out, guys. Right, Paulo is about to talk about now, how do we take that front end, which is what Nate discussed, right? So how do you get them in? Nate said you just give a free lead magnet, something that's gonna see the tons of value that you're worth, okay? What Paulo's gonna show you is this cash flow part, right? How can we sit at home and say, you know what, babe, I wanna go on an extra vacation. How much money do we need? And we do the calculations and we go, okay, let's go get that money. It's in this pipeline, right? How do we take those front end people who went through the funnel, right? Using what Landon taught us through Facebook, right? They're there. How do we convert that into high commissions so we can get that cash flow on demand? I mean, on demand. If you're excited about this part, put it in the comments below. I want you to tag someone on Facebook or share this on Facebook right now. Hashtag Caffeine Cashflow, guys. Hashtag Caffeine Cashflow. All right, you want to see if this works, baby?
Yeah, go for it. Let's see if it works.
Hold on. We're just testing something out here.
But for some reason, I can't move it on there.
You can't move it on there? Maybe, I don't know.
Is this plugged up, right?
Yeah, it's plugged up.
All right, cool.
But anyway, so we're going to share the screen here in a minute. I just want to test something real fast. No, that's not it. I don't know, baby. I don't know what to tell you.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
It's cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, hey, Landon, let me know when you can see our screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Here, baby. So that's your stuff.
All right, cool. So, what I want to talk about really quickly here, this is only going to work if you actually pay attention and you do exactly what Landon mentioned and you do exactly what Nate O'Brien talked about, right? And I'm not gonna take here too long, right? I'm actually gonna share with you, and then I'm actually going to implement it live here on this webinar, right? But when it comes to selling higher ticket stuff, right? When it comes to selling things that are $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, right? Because at the end of the day, what's really going to change our life, I really believe is life-changing income, right? Because I actually specifically remember a moment in my life back in 2014. It was actually around the same time, I believe, right? And it was like a hot summer day. And I actually vividly remember when we actually had made 48 sales in a single month. The problem was that, we were still living at my mother-in-law's house on an air mattress. And after making 48 sales in a month, which for us was something that was pretty big, we had totaled about $595, right? Which when I did the math and I divided it by how many hours I was working per day, it was like I was getting paid 75 cents per hour, right? I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I think in Vietnam, they pay a little bit more, right? So, I realized at that moment that, it wasn't so much about how many sales I can make, but how many high ticket sales, how much money I can potentially make just from one customer versus, these little small commissions from a bunch of people, right? And that's when I kind of stumbled upon this, right? And when it comes to selling high ticket products, here's the thing that you want to understand, right? It has to take place in a different kind of environment, right? You see, back in the day, when it came to selling high ticket products, you didn't really have many options. I mean, you could either do it person to person, you could do it on the phone, or you could do it in a live seminar, right? But the cool thing about the internet and the time that we live in is that you can actually do it right now. I mean, you can actually do it online through webinars, right? And there's so many different ways you can do it with just one webinar. I mean, you can have automated webinars and things of that matter, right? So when you do a live webinar, it's in a way taking place in a different setting, in a different kind of an environment, right? Because now you're literally taking it, and it's almost as if the person is live. It's almost as if the person is on the phone. It's almost as if the person is, right next to you, except for the fact that you have the ability to get as many people as you want to this platform, right? From all over the world, from different parts of the country, right? You can get them all on here. So what I wanted to share with you guys here really quickly is I wanted to share with you 30 little steps, right? That if you implement into your webinar presentation, that you can actually begin to start selling high ticket products, right? That you can actually begin to start selling higher ticket commissions, right? Just on demand, right? And the cool thing about it is that you can even automate this process, right? Which I'm going to go into a little later, right? So I kind of just want to get right into it, right? So again, what I'm going to be covering is the different phases that you would need to have inside of your webinar to make sure that when you're doing a live presentation, when you're getting the people in front of you, right? When you're getting the audience in front of you, that you absolutely crush it, even if you don't feel confident, even if you've never done one, even if you just absolutely just blow it, right? I mean, we've done these, and I got to tell you, I mean, I'm not the best speller, and sometimes I make a lot of grammar errors, and my wife will tell you, right? She gets so annoyed by it, but I guess my mind just thinks a little faster sometimes, right? But here's the deal, right? So we're going to get right into it. So the first thing is phase one, right? So when it comes to implementing your webinar, when it comes to creating a webinar presentation, the first thing that you want to do is you want to introduce yourself in the title of your presentation. And I got a couple of little bullet points here, right? So one of the things that I mentioned is make sure you have a catchy title and a cool picture of yourself, right? So like when we created this webinar, you know, Landon kind of messaged us. He's like, yo, let's do a webinar. I was like, yo, let's do it, man. And he came up with such a catchy name, man. I gotta give you some props. He's like, let's call it Caffeine Cashflow. I was like, dude, that, you know, we're like, wow, that sounds really good, right? So a catchy title is really what's gonna entice people to want to know a little bit more about it. You know, it's what's gonna catch people's attention, and it's really what's gonna get people on the webinar if you do a good enough job. Right, but when you're creating the webinar, make sure you have a catchy title and a cool picture of yourself, right? So I think in the very beginning, you know, you had a pretty cool presentation, right? Mm-hmm. Right, and the next thing is talk about one thing in the title of the presentation that talk about that one thing, right? Make a bold statement, right? So, for example, you know, we talked about how we're going to be sharing with you guys 3 things, right, on this webinar. But most importantly, we said that we were going to share with you caffeine cash flow, right? Caffeine cash flow. Literally how to just begin to having cash flow in your business, right? So the next thing is have someone pre-frame and create the hype. So my wife did a phenomenal job, I think, in the very beginning, right? Just pre-framing all of you guys to what? To make sure you're paying attention, to make sure you have the right mindset. And she did a phenomenal job edifying the people who are on the webinar, right? To making sure that you guys get to see the exact value and the worth that they are for, right? Because sometimes people get on your webinar, and even though maybe the person right next to you has gotten amazing accomplishments, if you don't do a good enough job pre-framing people, they're not going to receive it the same way if you just edify them. And they're not going to receive the information if you don't prepare them, if you don't prepare their minds to receive it, right? So the next thing is phase 2. Tell them who this is for and who this is not for. Now, some of you guys are saying, wow, this is starting to sound a little familiar, because you're probably saying this is exactly what Cassandra did in the very beginning. She said, who is this not for? And she talked about, you know, the leprechauns and the excuse makers and those kind of people, right? And you know, Landon did a phenomenal job talking about the avatar, the perfect customer. So if by the time you hop on the webinar, you've already implemented his part. You've already implemented Nate's part. So you know that the people who are getting the audience, you know exactly how to talk to them. You know how to directly speak to them in a way where it makes them feel like the entire presentation that you mapped out was for them. And what this is going to do is going to make them feel grateful, right? It's going to make them feel, wow, I can't believe this person decided to create all of this specifically for me. And that's exactly what your customers or your perfect avatars, right, should be feeling at the moment when you're doing the presentation, because they should be identifying and they should be feeling like you understand them, okay? The next thing that I just wanted to share is use the word exclusive, right? I mean, we all know how it felt when we got invited, you know, when we got invited to the popular kids party and then we didn't, right? I mean, when I was in 6th grade, I battled so hard to get to these popular kids party, man, that when everybody would be going around, hey, I just got invited to Desiree's party. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I wonder when she's gonna give me mine. It's like, and it never happened, right? Until I was in 8th grade. But that's a whole nother story, right? But when you can just use the word exclusive, it automatically just makes people understand and know that this isn't for everyone. This is just for them, okay? And the third thing is get gutsy, man. Be bold and be courageous. So, for example, right, today you're going to learn how you're going to extract gold from Facebook by getting targeted people that are the perfect fit. The second thing you're going to learn is how to use funnels that lead to absolute ridiculous, amazing conversion rates in your business. The third thing you're going to learn is how to turn these low front-end sales into back-end sales, aka large commissions, right? So get gutsy, man. Be bold with what you're mentioning, right? You know, try to keep it between 1 to 3 things that you're going to talk about in your webinar, because you don't want to overwhelm people and kind of get people confused, okay? The fourth thing is give them the main event. Like, for example, whenever you see boxing fights or UFC fights, like right now, Ronda Rousey's super popular, right? Whenever you hear that she's going to fight, what draws you to these main events is not the lower fights, right? It's not like the fights before that one, right? That one doesn't really attract people. The reason why people came to your webinar is because you promised them that they were going to receive one thing, right? And for you guys, it's caffeine cashflow, right? And for people who are watching fights, it's that they're actually going to get to watch Ronda Rousey. I mean, how pissed off would you feel if you go and buy these tickets to go watch the main event, right? To go watch what you were promised, and all of a sudden they never come through on that, right? You probably walk away pretty angry, pretty pissed off, pretty mad, right? So tell them what the main thing is, right? And the fifth thing is reward them for pushing through, okay? Offer bonuses and additional bonuses that they can or will receive if they stick to the end of this live Q&A, right? So like, I messed this up, right? I told you the grammar is getting to me, okay? But check this out. Like, for example, my wife promised all of you guys that if you guys showed up early, that you guys would get a PDF. And she kept her word, right? There's a PDF underneath here.
Which I took it off already. But
oh, it's gone already, right? Go ahead. You want to talk about it?
No, are you done? When you get to the last part.
Oh, okay, cool, right? So you want to make sure you offer additional bonuses so people can push through, right? Because you know what? Having someone block out an hour of their schedule can sometimes, you're asking for a lot, you know, sometimes people are busy or doing some other things. So when you can reward them, right, and you can make them feel like, okay, well, he's actually going to give me something if I do this or I do that, then, you know, you can begin to start conditioning your list and the people who show up to do certain things for you that's going to benefit them and that's going to benefit you as well, okay? Phase 6, get in their mind, okay? This is what Landon talked about, right? Creating rapport by bringing up what they're facing at this moment or past experiences that they may have gone through, right? You see, figure out what's holding them back. Figure out what their biggest problem is, right? Because if you can relate to them, either through your past experiences, and you can literally speak to them of what they may be facing right now, they're gonna go, man, this guy gets me, right? And then stick your dirty fingers in their wound so you can reactivate that pain, because sometimes people will kind of just forget about what's happening, right? Some people will sometimes act like everything's fine. So sometimes you got to reactivate that pain in the present moment so they can be reminded that their problem is not solved. As a matter of fact, they're here right now because it's going to get solved, right? So that's phase 6. This phase 7 is lend your shoulder for them to cry on, okay? What do I mean by this? Let them know that they're not the only ones who are struggling with this problem, okay? Let them know. Be like, hey, look, listen. Look, you're probably right now, you know, your business may be dry right now, right? You probably are lacking that cash flow that you need, right? Well, when you get out, look, listen, I want you to understand that 97% of people are in the same predicament, right? But how would you like if we can take you from that group, that category that never succeeds, and we can put you in an exclusive category where you can begin to start seeing the results that you've been desperately looking for since you got started online, right? How would you like to do that? Because you know the truth is that you're not the only one, but let me tell you something, you are special because you decided to get on this webinar, okay? Phase 8, emphasize your pain, okay? So I'm not gonna get too much into it, just make sure you emphasize your pain. Phase 9, you let them know that they don't have the solution, okay? You don't have the solution. Share with them the big statement that you're promising that they're gonna learn. Let them know that, I'm sorry, this is supposed to say you have the solution, you see? I'm sorry, let them know that you have the solution, right?
Not that you don't have it, you do have it.
you do have the solution, all right? Phase 10, believe in them, okay? Paint a picture using all 5 senses, use imagery, pleasure. For example, just imagine that all of a sudden now, 5 months from now, you can begin to start creating the experiences that you've always wanted to. Hanging out with your family, hanging out with your kids, having more time to do the things that you've always wanted to do, right? Just paint imagery, share with them pleasure, and let them know that you believe them most of all. Hey, look, listen, I actually believe that you can do this, right? Then phase 11, talk directly to their inner voice, right? Address their skepticism, right? Speak life into them and tell them what they can do if they lock arms with you and if they're coachable, right? Look, so for example, look, maybe you may be feeling like this is not for you. Maybe you may be feeling like, is success really possible for me? Yeah, I know you did it, but can I do it? You know, address those inner voices and let them know, you know what? I know how you feel. I know what you're thinking, but the truth is I was also there, but now I'm here. And together we can make this happen. Because now it's not just you by yourself, it's you and I'm by your side, right? So you could say things like that, okay? Phase 12, show them why you're such a boss, okay? So this is not in any way like being arrogant or anything like this, right? Because they may be thinking, this is too good to be true. There's no way this will work for me. I suck. So let them know. This is where you can show some of the results you've gotten, some of the results that you've gotten other people, right? Let them know that with you, it's possible. Okay, phase 13, tell them why it didn't work, okay? Share with them your accomplishments and your results. I'm sorry, tell them why it didn't work for you. So tell them, hey, look, listen, it didn't work for me because I didn't have the right coaching. I didn't have the right mentoring. I didn't have the right products. I was jumping from company to company. I was not investing into the right things. I had a broke mindset. So let them know why it didn't work. And the cool thing about it is that when you're letting them know why it didn't work for you, you're also addressing the things that the objections that they may have, right? But the cool thing is that since you're doing it through yourself, it's not coming out as being offensive, and it's not coming out as you're pointing the finger at them, because nobody likes when someone looks at you and says, don't do this, don't do that. Like my wife has done that in the past, and it's like, I told you to not do that. And it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna do it.
They lost the slides.
They lost the slides?
Yeah. Hey, Bianca, I appreciate you sharing that. Let me see, hold on 1 second. The slides are lost.
The slides are lost?
Yeah. Since phase 5, okay. Stop screen sharing for a second.
Okay.
Let me see.
Um,
There we go. Hold on. Can you guys see us? Were you able to see him, Landon?
Yeah, I was able to see the slides just fine. Anybody else? Were you having problems? If you're having problems seeing the slides, give us a yes real quick. Yeah, I could see him okay on my end.
Yeah, that's weird because for some reason like I'm looking on the live show, it's just showing our logo here. Let me see if we refresh the page, if that'll help. Hold on. No, it's still not working for some reason. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey guys, just refresh your page. Refresh your page, and then that should work. Okay. Refresh your page. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go back. I apologize. But we have to keep going. So that way we can keep it moving, guys. We can keep it moving. All right. Stick around to the end, right? Stick around to the end. Just hang on for a second. All right. You can. Let me get it up for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. You haven't screen shared yet, right?
Yeah, I started screen sharing already.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
You're funny. This one, right?
Yeah. All right. So I'm sorry that the slides that the screen wasn't showing, guys. What I'm gonna do is I'll hook you guys up with this. All right. I'll just give it to you guys. If you guys send me an email at askpaolocq@gmail.com. And then I'll send this PDF to you, okay? So the next thing I talked about is phase 16, how you came across the secret, right? Be sincere and tell them the missing components that you were missing to be successful. And in the missing components, also begin to start slipping in the solution and slipping in why they need to work with you and why they need to buy your product or your service, all right? Phase 17, speak their future lifestyle into existence, right? Talk about the solution. Talk about the lifestyle that they've always envisioned. Right? This is going to give you an opportunity as well to brand yourself here and make sure you draw as much of emotion as possible, because people never remember details. They remember how you made them feel through your story. So tell them how you came across the secret. Phase 18, this is when you will begin to start transitioning into your content. So the reason why they came here for. So all the way from where I started all the way till now, right? You're just basically pre-framing them. You're building rapport. You're massaging the objections, right? You're just making sure that you get rid of all of the unvoiced skepticism, right? The inner voice, any of the negativity. And by now, the people who actually absolutely love you, adore you, and actually want to listen to you and are actually willing to give you a shot, they're going to do what? They're going to actually pay attention to your content, right? So the next thing is phase 19. Speak again. You're gonna bring this back, okay? And I'm gonna share with you exactly what I mean, because I know I don't have any pictures here, but you're gonna bring back again the future lifestyle that they want, okay? And the next thing is you're gonna ask them if they would like your help. Now check this out here for a second. Can you bring me back to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, from phase 20 to phase 30, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you live right now how I would do this. I'm gonna do it right now. So phase 20 through 30, I'm just gonna do, okay? So this is exactly what I wanted to share with you guys if you guys have stood till the end of this webinar, okay? The question is, how would you like our help, right? And this is called the Power Couple Presents Cash Flow on Demand, right? And what we're doing, what me and my wife and actually our special guest Landon, is we're gonna be having a boot camp that's gonna be actually facing New York City, right? It's gonna be June 26th to the 28th, right? But how would you like our help in a way where you can actually come and meet us in person, right? Where you can actually take what we're saying and you can actually be part of a room, an intensive room, a small group, an exclusive group of people that actually get to not just learn the information, but get to implement the information, right then and there, because there's a difference between learning information and then having someone side by side telling you exactly what you need to do. And if you're doing something wrong, you can correct it instantly, right? And just imagine if you can have that opportunity. You know, those kind of opportunities, what they really do is that they actually all of a sudden take the learning curve, which may be anywhere from 2 to 5 years, and shorten it, right? They shorten it when you go to these kind of things, right? So what I wanted to share with you is this is perfect for who, right? This is perfect. Do you want to just say anything before I transition?
No. I mean,
okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Sorry, guys. Really quick, right? If you were here from the beginning, let me know. If you were here from the beginning, I know that we missed some slides, so just go to baby. What's the email again? AskPaulo@gmail.com. Not dot. Ask dot.
AskPaulo.
Oh.
AskPaulo.CQ@gmail.com.
Yeah, just askpaulocq@gmail.com and you'll be able to get the slides, not the dot. I think I put dot in the comments, ask dot. Take the dot out. Just askpaulocq@gmail.com and we'll send you the slides. But hey, in the beginning, I gave you guys a PDF and it was called the Value Ladder, okay? Now, basically what that PDF is gonna do is somewhat like the components that Nate O'Brien was talking about earlier. And I want you to make sure that you fill that out. Because if you noticed, everything that we took you through so far tonight is in a process, okay? So like Landon went over, how do you get people into the funnel, right? How do we get people into the funnel? Because let's face it, you cannot have cash flow on demand without people, okay? You need people because people have money so that they can buy the things that you are selling, right? That's the only way you can get cash flow. Every day there's transactions happening. You have to figure out how you can put your hand in the middle of those transactions so that you can get some of that too, right? So he talked about how do you get people in, and Nate went over components of people in that funnel. And what Paulo's talking about is once you have those people, the best way to get cash flow fast is webinars. And I know Landon can agree, webinars are the bomb. You get people on a webinar, suddenly cash flow just moves. It moves, man. It happens so rapidly when you get all people on one setting. So I want you to take that and fill that out and make sure you go through it step by step. As we're reaching and approaching the end of the webinar, you guys can start putting in some comments and questions. Paulo's gonna finish it off right now. Let me just go back to that slide, baby, just for you, okay? Boom. There we go.
Yeah, so just wanted to share with you guys who this, who's this for, right? Who's this perfect for, right? Well, it's perfect for anybody who's a network marketing, affiliate marketers, information marketers, coaches, consultants, and speakers, right? Because the truth is that, all of you guys are going to need exactly what we shared about, right? We talked about how you guys are going to need traffic, and that's where Landon's going to come in as an expert, right? We talked about the components and the funnels, right? And that's some of the things we're also going to be talking about, right? Because there's one thing from knowing something and then actually implementing it and having something done for you, right? So this is perfect for all of you guys, right? So here's the deal, right? So the Power Quantum 3-day boot camp, all right, is going to entail a couple of things, right? The first thing we're going to be talking about in this boot camp, which is going to be a live boot camp, right?
The reason why we call it a boot camp is because you guys get to come and learn and apply at the same time. Not like this webinar where you're learning all this stuff, you're taking notes, especially in the short amount of time that we had to teach it, right? It was so hard to teach it in this time frame. But now you guys have to take these notes and go apply it on your own. See, the boot camp is going to force you to apply it right then and there. We're making it so intense that the moment you learn something, you're going to take a break. You're immediately applying it right then and there. That's why it's called a boot camp.
Exactly, right? So we're going to be teaching you guys how to close high ticket sales, which is going to be a value of $666.66. We're going to be talking about funnel creation, right? Which is a value of $600.66, okay? We're going to be talking about Facebook marketing, Landon Stewart, right? A value of $666.66. Right? A photo shoot, right? You're going to get your own photo shoot, which is going to be a value of $1,500. You're going to get a high-def video of your story, value of $1,500, and a complete done-for-you funnel, okay? Valued at $5,000. Total value, $10,000, real-world value, okay? Now, here's what I wanted to share with you, right? I wanted to share with you, and this is my you'll keep it for life guarantee, right? Everything we go over in the live event, all right? Plus the done for you funnels, the done for you templates that we're gonna be giving out, you get to keep, okay, forever. And we'll never take it away from you or ever charge you a monthly fee, right? It's yours for life. You get to keep it. We're never gonna take it. So that's my guarantee to you guys when you guys decide to attend the live Power Quantum Bootcamp, okay? So here's what I wanted to share with you right now, and I want you guys to pay close attention because this is what you guys have been waiting for this entire webinar, okay? So I want to ensure that you have caffeine cash flow in your business, okay? And the first thing that I wanted to share with you is I wanted to give you our first bonus, which is the value ladder.
The value ladder, which we gave it to you.
We gave it to you already, okay?
I can put it out there again, though.
Some people probably missed it, right? But we'll hook you guys up. The first bonus that we want to give you, if you decide to take action today, is the value ladder, okay? The value ladder, okay? The second thing is that we want to give you our exact webinar presentation template that I've done on Canva, okay? Which means that you can go on canva.com and you can just edit it and decide to put your own stuff in it if you want, okay? The next bonus is we're going to be giving you, this is the biggest one of all.
Oh my God.
This is the biggest one of all, right? We're going to be giving you our own product called The Journey to Selling High Ticket Product, okay? This right here is going to be amazing because it's literally going to teach you everything you need to know about selling high ticket products online, okay? From creating them to selling them, all right? This is huge, okay? This is huge because you're literally getting something that's worth a lot of money and you're getting it just for making a decision to decide to join us and lock arms with us so you guys can come to the Power Quantum Bootcamp this June, the 26th of June, okay?
Yeah.
So again, let me share with you exactly what you're getting. You're getting the Power Quantum Caffeine Cashflow 3-day bootcamp valued at $10,000. You're getting our first bonus, the value ladder, valued at $497. You're getting our second bonus, our webinar presentation template, valued at $1,997. You're getting our bonus 3, the Journey to Selling High Ticket Formula, valued at $5,000.
Yeah, man.
Okay? So here's what I wanted to share with you, okay? Let me ask you a question. If going to this boot camp allowed you to crack your first 5-figure month, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it, okay? And let me tell you something, okay? When we cracked our first 5-figure month, it completely changed everything about it, right? It completely rearranged our paradigm, just how we thought, okay? It shifted us and it made us realize that we can actually make money on demand, that we don't have to do some of the things that some people do that is just ridiculous and just completely undervalue ourselves, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to ask you that question. What if you can crack your first 5-figure month when you come to this boot camp, okay? Plus, never ever have cash flow problems in your business, okay? How would your life change for you if you could bring cash on demand, all right? Again, you're getting the Power Quantum Caffeine Cashflow, the 3-day boot camp, okay? The bonus 1, 2, and 3, okay? All of this is a total value of $10,000, okay? But here's the deal. Here's what I wanted to share with you guys, okay? I wanted to let you guys know that it's not gonna be $10,000. Even though that the value is $10,000, because I truly do believe that that's how much value we're gonna be bringing. I mean, if you guys got anything from this, you've seen that from the very beginning, we've been completely upfront, okay? And what's happened right now is my wife has pushed the button.
No,
right? She's gonna
up.
push the button in a second, okay? And the button's gonna come up, right? But again, you know, it's not gonna be $10,000. The actual investment would be $7,000, okay? And again, you're getting the 3-day boot camp, the value ladder, the webinar presentation template, the Journey to Selling High Ticket Formula, which is a product, okay, that we've created. All right, and it's only $7,000, okay? But again, the truth is, right, is that we understand that, you know, you probably want to have your breakthrough, and the truth is that it's not that the reason why we keep lowering it. It's not like we're depreciating it. It's not like it's not worth it. It's the fact that we actually want to help you. We want to meet you at a point where you can actually decide to do the investment and make the decision, because we do know that this is last minute, and we do know that maybe this wasn't in your plans, right? Which is the reason why we're lowering the price, not because it's not worth it, not because we're depreciating it, but because we truly want to help you, and we want to meet you at a point and a level where you can actually do it, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So here's what I want to do for the first 2 action takers, okay? And as soon as I tell you guys what we're going to do, okay, you know, we're gonna actually, my wife is gonna get on here and press the button, right?
Yeah, thank you.
So for the first 2 action takers, what we'll do is I'll personally review and dissect your entire business. And I think my wife wanted to add something in there.
Do you want me to add that? Oh my goodness, man. I'm just excited because, you know, Bella and I have been talking about what should we give extra to people who take action. But before I answer that, let me just put up these buttons here for you guys, okay? And you're gonna notice that there's gonna be 2 buttons that pop up, okay? And if you're excited about all of this value, I want you to put in the comments and say, holy crap, right? Or holy moly, whatever you wanna say, holy cannoli, right? If you're excited about it, just put it in the comments, okay? The first button you're gonna see is that you're gonna get access to the actual boot camp on June 26th through the 28th, okay? June 26th to the 28th, you actually get to fly down to New York City and meet us out here and be a part of it, okay? And you're gonna notice that there are different options, and those different options, what we're gonna talk about is what each one means in a few, so you know what it is exactly that you wanna buy, okay? The second button that you're gonna see is, for some of you, I know you may not be able to make it because you're saying, hey, I have something planned June 26th through 28th. I really can't make it. I wanna be there. I wish I had it free. You know, something is planned that day, I don't know. If you can't make those dates, there's gonna be a separate button for you, and you're gonna fill out this form. Just fill out the form, and that's all you have to do, okay? So there's 2 different buttons, okay? One that's gonna allow you to come here to New York for that weekend, June 26th to the 28th, and the other button that's gonna allow you to basically fill out a form if you cannot make those dates, all right? So there's 2 buttons that are gonna be up there in a few minutes, all right? So, babe, so the first 2 people, right, you were mentioning, the first 2 people who take action, you want me to give that free thing now?
Yeah. How about we make it the first person, actually?
The first person?
Yeah, this way.
This way, it's, yeah. Okay, so here, check this out, guys. First 2 people, right, or first 2 people.
Yeah.
First 2 people who take action, okay?
We'll review their business, and the first person who decides to take action.
All right, so the first 2 people who take action at VIP tickets, okay, we're gonna basically do a whole review of your entire business one-on-one, okay, one-on-one, all right? The first person who takes action, we're going to pay for your flight on top of everything else, okay? So when you go VIP, your hotel stay is paid for, your food is paid for, right? You're gonna go over that.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we're gonna actually pay for your flight, okay? So check this out, right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly. So go ahead.
Yeah. So you have 2 types of tickets on the first button, okay, baby? Just make sure both buttons are showing there. I don't see the other one. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, so you have the VIP experience. The VIP experience is this. You're gonna get the high ticket closing, right? You're gonna get funnel creation, Facebook marketing. This is everything that's gonna be taught at the actual event, okay? You're getting bonus 1, which is the value ladder, and we're gonna actually dissect that at the event. Bonus number 2, which is the webinar template, right? Bonus number 3, the entire freaking product that my husband created on how you can start creating your products and selling them at high ticket. You're gonna get a photo shoot. You're gonna get a high def video of your story for you to use in your marketing. You're gonna get a done for you funnel, okay? A funnel that's already created for you to start marketing. We're gonna be paying for your hotel stay. We're gonna be paying for your transportation from your hotel to the actual event because it's gonna be at a separate spot. And then we're gonna be paying for your food. The first person to take action, we are going to pay for your flight, okay? We're gonna pay for your flight. So literally, it's just a paid for event. Everything.
That's crazy.
We'll pay for your flight.
Right now.
It's ridiculous. June 26th to the 28th, okay? General admission, you actually just get the entire event and those bonuses other than the journey to selling high ticket, okay? It's still valuable. It's still valuable because you're still getting tons of information. But of course, the VIP experience is just way sexier. It is way sexier, okay? And the cool thing, guys, is that if you can't pay the whole thing right now, we're giving you an option to pay it in 2 parts this month, in 2 parts before the event. So you can put a down payment. It's up to you. If you paid in full, you get a 10% discount on both the general admission or the VIP experience, guys. All right, first 2 people, we're gonna actually dissect your business, First person, we're going to include your flights. That is epic. That is sick. And if you cannot make it to those dates, just fill out the form because that's a big deal. Baby, do you want to say anything? Or Landon, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, guys, definitely book your tickets now. It's going to be like the stuff that I gave you guys tonight and that, you know, that you got tonight is just tiny. It's like minuscule in comparison to what you're going to get at the event. We're going to really rip open the curtains on our businesses and walk you through how to create income, how to enroll reps into a business, how to sell high ticket. Like this stuff is like the stuff that just isn't taught anywhere else. You can't learn it anywhere else for less than, you know, $25,000, which is what most events and masterminds like this cost. So I definitely say grab your ticket, grab it right now. And I'm super excited to hang out with everyone.
Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. You know, because I mean, I'm telling you, Landon is a freaking beast when it comes to Facebook marketing. Like he's just beast. And so when he's teaching, we're actually going to be applying right then and there. The stuff that we're going to be teaching you about the funnels, we're going to apply it right then and there. High ticket closing, you're going to apply it right then and there. The objective of the boot camp is to get you a significant result that weekend. We can't guarantee it, of course, but that's the objective. Can you imagine just being there and you get your breakthrough right then and there? That's the objective. It is going to be freaking phenomenal. I'm excited. I know, Landon, this is your first time coming out to New York, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Dude, I can't wait. We got to plan some things to do like outside of the event too. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great, man. I'm excited. Baby, anything else you want to say?
Yeah. I mean, give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah, sure. Cool. So, hey guys, if you have any questions or comments about this, put it in the thing below. I have to, let me stop sharing here. Boom. There we go. So I'm going to put a timer, okay? I'm going to put a timer on here. We're going to give you guys about 10 minutes to make your decision, 10 minutes to go ahead and start choosing which options you want. Within those 10 minutes, I want to let you know, first 2 people we're going to get to be able to dissect your business. We're going to go through it one-on-one. Maybe you don't have a business completely up and running yet, and you're saying, this is my idea, I don't know how to get it up. We'll actually dissect it and help you start putting it together. The first person will include your airfare. So literally, you don't have to worry about anything but showing up. You just got to show up. It is that powerful, okay? And then everyone else, man, you're getting pretty badass bonuses regardless. It is sick, the stuff that you're getting. So if you have any questions, just put it in the comments below. I see Bianca put, holy crap. That's awesome. She's excited. Any questions or comments below before we actually end the webinar? I hope you guys got tons of value. We're probably going to do another webinar similar to this because there's just so much that we wanted to go over, but the timing is just so difficult, right? Anything else you want to say, baby?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you know, guys, you know, the truth is that, you know, you have to make decisions sometimes, right?
8 minutes left, y'all.
You got 8 minutes left, and you just have to, sometimes, I understand, sometimes you want to make the right decision. You want to make sure you're not making a crazy decision. But the truth is that in most cases, right, something like this, like Landon said, it's way, way, way more, right? But you're getting a major and a massive discount, and you're getting to hang out with people that can potentially impact your life if you just allow yourself to do so, right? If you just allow to make a decision and decide to do it, right, you would find yourself, right, in a different place, right? And here's the deal, right? I just want you to imagine out into the future and just imagine if you hit your first 5-figure month, right? What would that do for you? What would that do for you and your family, for your kids, right? I mean, what would that do? Because the truth is that once you experience that, it's almost like you'll never be able to want to do it differently again. You'll be able to kind of, in a weird kind of way, just always understand how to make that, right? Because your mind in a weird kind of way can always kind of track exactly the steps that you took to get that result, right? So right now, make the decision, click on that button, fill out the registration form, okay? There's only like 5 minutes left, okay? And you want to make sure you do it now, especially if you want to be one of the people that get the fast action bonuses.
Word up, man. Landon, your internet, right? It's
Yeah, my internet's been choppy. I'm sorry about that, guys.
It's good.
It's all good, man. It's good. It's good. I'm like, what is he doing? Is he playing like hide and seek? No, I'm just Dude, I can't wait to see you, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, it's gonna be a blast. I love teaching this stuff too.
I know you do. You get like a huge thrill out of it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited. This is gonna be great, guys. Let me look at the time here. We have about 4 minutes left, guys. 4 minutes left for you guys to make your decision. Let's rock it out, man. We can't wait to see you guys in New York. It's gonna be freaking phenomenal. I'm excited. It is gonna be beast. Man, I'm kind of hungry too.
Yeah, me too. So here's the deal, guys, all right? So go back to the screen again.
Which one?
Go back to the slides.
Yeah. Bam. Let me know if you can see our screen, Landon.
Yep.
There it is, guys. There it is. The button's right there in front of you. All you have to do is click on it, fill out that information, guys. And again, if you can't do it, fill out the application, right? Maybe the timing is off, right? Fill out the application so we can kind of get back to you. We can kind of talk to you a little bit more, right? And we can have a better understanding where you at, right? But the truth is that, look, listen, if you can't do the VIP, man, take advantage of the general admission, right? The total value of that is $5,000, but the actual investment is $1,000. Put the down payment of $500. Okay, it's nothing. $500 is nothing. Okay, compared to the information and the ability that you have when you come to this event, right? And if you want to go for more, you want to say, you know what? Maybe I want to do more. Maybe I want to take advantage of this fully, right? Then do the VIP experience, right? That's the total value of $10,000, which is an actual investment of $5,000. Okay, the down payment is $2,500. But check out everything you're getting with it. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? I mean, you're getting so many things with it. It's almost like, you know, it's almost a no-brainer.
2 minutes left.
It's a no-brainer why we need to go with that, right?
2 minutes left. Yeah, man. I mean, VIP compared to general admission is obviously way sexier, right? It's way sexier. But again, do what you can, right? Do what you can. Either way, you're getting tons of value and you're gonna get results regardless. All right. I think that it's a no-brainer. The price that we're pricing it at for the things that you can get is ridiculous, especially for the first person who's also going to get their airfare included in it. I think that's just badass, man. I'm like really excited about it. I can't wait to see you guys here. New York is awesome, especially this time of year. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. We're gonna have fun. Landon, Melissa's excited too, right?
Oh yeah, Melissa's super excited. It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, like I can't wait. We gotta actually get on a hangout, just us, not in public, and talk about, you know, some of the things that you guys want to see, so we can kind of plan out our excursions and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. And the time is just about over, guys. Man, I appreciate you. I'm excited for those of you who are making the decision right now as we speak. Congratulations to Josh, who has made his decision. He's already a VIP ticket to the event. Josh Stewart, coming from where? New Hampshire?
And he's coming from Boston.
Boston? I don't think it's Boston. Somewhere. He's coming from somewhere. He's going to come meet us out here in New York. He's going to meet Landon. He's so excited. He's really pumped up to be there. Everyone else, man, I'm excited. I can't wait to meet you guys again. Keep on the lookout for the next webinar. Fill out the application if the dates are not congruent with your schedule. We love you guys. This is
The Power Couple.
And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
See you guys.